Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Herve Bellaiche, who's Executive Vice President of Ponant, which you obviously have heard about, but there's a lot going on with the company, and we're going to find out all that and more on Insider Travel Report. I've been following Ponant for years. I've been on your ships. It's a marvelous product. And now you're making one of the most dramatic expansions that a small ship cruise line can ever make. But let's sort of look at the fleet as it is today. So tell us, you originally started with the Ponant, which is that sailing vessel everybody kind of knows, and then you went to the Boreal class. You have 4 of those, right?
Yes, we have 4 of those between 2010 and 2015. And then since 12 months that we discussed together, we have been adding new ships.
And those are the new Explorer class ships, right?
Yes, Explorers, and smaller, even smaller than the 200.
Which is interesting because, you know, the trend, even with among luxury lines, is to get a little bigger, right?
Yes, but the trend on Ponant is going a little bit smaller.
Let's get small, right?
Smaller. Size matters.
That's
when
true.
you go on destinations which are specular, size matters. So these new ships, we have received 3 of them in the last 12 months. They have 90 cabins,
Right.
150 guests on board, and we are going to receive 3 additional in the next.
There'll be
12
6
months.
in the Explorer class, right?
Yes,
Wow.
3 in the last 12 months, 3 in the next 12 months.
And then to cap it off, beyond this class, you've got a very special ship coming out after that, right?
And after that, in 2021, we'll have an icebreaker. Le Commandant Charcot will be the first small ship will be powered by LNG, liquid natural gas. The first cruise ship who can go up to the North Pole or such level of itineraries. And the first ship with so much capacity in terms of electric batteries, the biggest batteries in the world.
Now, how many passengers will that carry?
220.
So not too much bigger than the Boreal class, right? So
no.
Yeah. So the other thing, of course, with the new Explorer class you introduced, which was a very unique feature, is that lounge in the lower part of the ship. It's called, I forget the name. It's
The Blue Eye.
the Blue Eye Lounge. How can I forget that? The Blue Eye Lounge. How has been the reception to that so far?
Incredible. We have been working 4 years to develop that. So a year ago, before we had get the first one, we were trying to know what would be the reception. It was great. This is an underwater lounge, a lounge which is below the flotation line, where you can where the hull is in glass, so you can see the sea, the fauna, the flora. There is microphones which are not disturbing the wildlife that replicates direct live what happens there. The impression is just unbelievable. Actually, Jules Verne thought about that.
That's right.
And Ponant tried to realize that.
Well, it sounds you're very close to it. It's the Nautilus, right?
Exactly, the Nautilus.
Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is that you are really you've really expanded your reach in terms of where your guests are coming from now, right? And now I was actually surprised to say that 40% of your guests are coming from the Americas, right?
Yeah, 40% of our guests are coming from America, 30% from Europe, including France, but not only, and 30% coming from Australia, mainly, and other countries in Asia, Japan, for example.
Well, I was also interested that now, and I felt, I mean, look, I love the French aspect of the ship. I've always loved it. I was then very early, and there was always this feeling that it was the French ship. But as we've sort of learned, it is the French ship, but you're quite amenable and welcoming to Americans and English-speaking cruisers as well, right?
It is a French brand, a luxury French brand, for sure, like Saint Laurent, Paris.
Right.
But of course, we acknowledge more than 80% or 75% of people which are not French.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, of course, we are not. We are open to everybody.
Yeah, and you actually have.
Because destination our specificity is destination. So 1/3 of what we do is Arctic and Antarctica. 1/3 is crazy destination like Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu Island, Wallis and Futuna. This kind of destination regroup people from any culture. So it's the humanity wants to go there. It's not specifically one nationality.
Well, I know, and destination is the key, and you offer such a diverse set of itineraries. And everybody says where you go is the key to luxury travel now.
Yeah, exactly. Destination is the first criteria for people to come on a cruise and to come on Ponant. So we recruit by the destination first, then we recruit because of French DNA, because it attracts. We are the only company who is acquired by a French luxury group who owns Gucci, who owns Saint Laurent, who owns a lot of Bottega Veneta and a lot of brand names like this, and this attracts as well. So the luxury Veuve Clicquot, the luxury French brands that are on board is as well something which is attracting people.
And then another thing, for at least the North American market, you've been putting together a series of special voyages that have themes, right? And they're called,
We have put for the American market some cruises which we called quintessential, where we put the quintessential cruises of Ponant with 10 cruises which have been dedicated for the US market, with US lecturers, American lecturers, with American specificities that makes that we go from 40% of America to 80% of America. So wow. For people who really wants to be amongst American, this is the type of crew that they could come in. For people who wants to be on a more international type of things with only 40% of American, I recommend the other one.
Well, and again, you've also really focused on the luxury expedition aspect of your cruises now, and really become known for that, right? Now?
Yeah, the luxury. So all of our ships have a very fine design. The interiors, the exterior, the line, the balconies. The service, it's key, and thanks to Mr. Pinot Group, so the Kering Group, we are going to increase the bar every year.
Yeah, and then finally I wanted to ask you about, you're really focused on sustainability and what you can do with this, and you have a very good program that you launched, actually part of it you launched recently. Talk a little bit about that and how you're trying to make your ships more sustainable, and also educate your guests about the oceans.
Yeah, we do several things in sustainability which are key for us. Let me remind you that the company has been created 30 years ago by marine people. It's quite unique in the
French sailors, right?
French sailors, and these people has been in the maritime world since decades, since the father, the grandfather. So it's a family of marine people who where the sea is there. It's very important for them. So first point. Second point, we have been working a lot to educate people. When we go in Antarctica, in Arctic, in Spitsbergen, we've trained people with lecture in order that they come back with a more important cautious of ecology. We train them on fauna and flora, on respect of. So they come back as their ambassador of their destination. Third, we have a program, of course, of banning every single plastics, of energy. We have been 1st of January anticipating any other company and having just a low sulfur marine gasol on every of our ships, anywhere, not only in Antarctica and Arctic, but anywhere. We have been working on a roadmap as well to have plugs and to have all of the ships plugged in every port in order that we can stop the motors. So we have a very long-term roadmap in order to every year raise the bar of sustainable tourism, and we want to be one of the reference in the cruise market for that.
Well, Herve, thank you very much for taking the time to tell us all about what's going on with Ponant and sort of lay out the roadmap, because quite frankly, I know a lot about it, but to get a firm explanation about all your different ships that are coming on, 12 ships in the next few years, a fleet of 12, it's going to be amazing. I look forward to seeing them. I've been on 2 of them, and they are amazing ships, and if you're not putting your clients on it now, please do. It's a wonderful product for cruising.
Thank you so much.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.